$65,964. That's the average price of a new full-size pickup on a dealer lot right now. And last week, I watched a guy sign papers on one that will be worth half that before his kid finishes middle school. 3 spots down in that same lot sat an older truck that will outlive the shiny one by 150,000 miles for a third of the money. After more than 20 years under the hood, I can tell you exactly why millions of Americans are quietly skipping the showroom and hunting down these older pickups instead. The smart ones aren't buying nostalgia. They're buying engineering the accountants hadn't ruined yet. Let me show you the 3 they're chasing and why I own one myself. Here's the math that's driving all of it. A new full-size truck averages just under $66,000. That's more than $16,000 above the average price of any new vehicle in America, because dealers stopped selling work trucks and started selling rolling living rooms with heated everything. Finance that, and you're staring at a $742 monthly payment for 69 months. Meanwhile, the average used truck buyer finances about $27,000 and pays $525 a month. And here's the part that should really sting. A new truck loses roughly 55% of its value in 5 years. You are paying showroom money to watch it evaporate in your driveway. The people who figured this out aren't broke. A lot of them are the mechanics fixing the new ones. We know which trucks were built to run and which were built to sell, and today I'm counting down the 3 we actually buy. I'm going deepest on number 1 because that's the one parked in my own driveway. Let's get into it. Number 3, the Chevy Silverado 1500 with the 5.3 V8. This is the truck nobody brags about, and everybody keeps running. The 5.3 liter is part of GM's LS family, and it is, flat out, one of the most reliable V8s ever bolted into anything. GM built millions of them. Parts are everywhere. Any shop in the country can work on one blindfolded, and the good versions will run 250,000 to 350,000 miles on basic maintenance. That's the reason these things are all over used lots for cheap. You can find a clean older Silverado with the 5.3 well under $20,000, sometimes closer to $12,000, while the equivalent new Silverado stickers north of $60,000. Let me tell you about a customer, a landscaper in his late 30s, who came in ready to finance a brand new Silverado LT. I asked what the payment was. He said $780 a month. I asked him to give me one afternoon before he signed. I pulled up a 2018 Silverado LT double cab, 5.3, 84,000 miles, listed at $18,900. I inspected it myself. Compression was strong, no lifter tick, transmission fluid was clean and red. He bought it, kept his cash, and put the difference into a second work trailer. That was 11 months ago. Total repair spend since? A set of brake pads and a serpentine belt, about $260. But here's where I have to be straight with you, because this is exactly the kind of detail dealers won't tell you. Not every 5.3 is equal. The engines from the GMT 800 trucks, roughly 1999 to 2007, don't have active fuel management, and those old LM7 motors are basically indestructible. I've got a customer whose grandson daily drives a 1997 era GM truck with over 450,000 miles on it. The catch comes with the AFM system Chevy added starting around 2007. That cylinder deactivation system is the #1 failure point on these engines. It collapses lifters and eats oil, and it tends to strike around 119,000 miles. If the camshaft gets chewed up along with the lifters, you're looking at a repair that costs $3,500 to $8,000. That number scares people off the 5.3 entirely, and it shouldn't, because the fix is known and permanent. So here's your inspection checklist for a used 5.3 Silverado. First, target the strong years. The 2017 to 2018 trucks from that generation have the best reliability record, and the 2020 to 2021 trucks settled down after a rough 2019 redesign. Second, ask the seller point blank whether an AFM delete has been done and get documentation. A truck with a delete kit and a tune has had the grenade diffused, and that's the one you want. Budget about $1,000 to $1,500 to do it yourself if it hasn't been. Third, pull the dipstick and check oil level and color, then start it cold and listen for a tick from the top end. A collapsed lifter announces itself. Fourth, check the driver's seat bolster. On these trucks, the bolster wears faster than the odometer climbs, so a shredded seat on a low-mileage truck is telling you the real story. Bottom line on the Silverado, it's the cheapest way into a full-size V8 truck that will run past 250,000 miles, as long as you buy the right year and handle the AFM. It's not glamorous, it just works, and it costs a fraction of the new one sitting next to it. But if the Silverado is the value play, this next one is the truck that Ford technicians themselves recommend to their own families. Number 2, the Ford F-150 with the 5.0 Coyote 5.8. Here's a fact that tells you everything. When you ask Ford's own techs, the guys who see every F-150 that breaks, which engine they'd buy, they don't say the turbocharged EcoBoost that Ford pushes hardest in the ads. They say the naturally aspirated 5.0 Coyote. That engine, offered from 2011 all the way through today, regularly reaches 250,000 to 300,000 miles with nothing but proper maintenance. No turbos to fail, no wastegates, no intercooler condensation, no forced induction heat cooking your oil. Just a stout V8 with a timing chain and a reputation the internet doesn't argue about. I had a woman come in, mid-50s, small business owner, dead set on a new F-150 because she'd been burned by an old truck years ago and wanted a warranty. Her budget was around $40,000 for a new XLT. I asked if she'd consider a 2018. She wrinkled her nose the way people do. I showed her a 2018 F-150 XLT with a 5.0, 58,000 miles, listed at $28,500. I explained that a 2018 was the sweet spot because by then Ford had sorted out the aluminum body they introduced in 2015 and calibrated the 10-speed transmission that shifted like garbage in 2017. She bought it. She texts me maintenance questions now instead of repair bills. She's at 96,000 miles, zero major work. Now let me give you the honest picture because I'm not here to sell you a badge either. The engine that matters more than the mileage on an F-150, the 5.0 Coyote is the safe pick, but the years around it matter. Avoid the 2015 to 2017 trucks if you can. That was the first run of the aluminum body, and those years had brake master cylinder failures, door latch recalls, and that rough 10-speed once it arrived. The complaint rates on the 2015 to 2017 trucks run 3 to 6 times higher than a 2018, 3 model years apart, completely different ownership experience. The 2018 to 2020 trucks are the ones to hunt, with the 12th generation 2011 to 2014 trucks as a solid, cheaper backup. One more thing I'd be doing you a disservice to skip. Some 2018 to 2025 .0 engines developed an oil consumption issue, burning a quart or more every 1,000 miles. It's not every truck, but it's real. So when you test drive one, that's the thing you check. Here's the checklist. First, On any 5.0 you're looking at, check the oil level and ask the owner how often they add oil between changes. If they say never, good. If they hesitate, factor it in. Second, get it on the highway and run the 10-speed through its gears from a stop and again from 40 to 70. You want smooth, decisive shifts. No hunting, no clunk. Third, look hard at the aluminum body around the bed and lower doors for repair work or mismatched panels, because aluminum body shops charge more and hacks do it badly. Fourth, pop the hood and just look at how clean the engine bay is. A guy who kept the top of his engine clean kept the inside clean too. And here's a value tell that proves the point on this engine. A used 5.0 Coyote with the transmission, pulled and sold on its own, goes for $6,000 to $8,000. The market is telling you what the heart of this truck is worth. A whole running F-150 built around that engine for under $30,000 versus a new one at $38,000 and up is one of the best deals in the truck world right now. If this kind of straight talk is saving you from a bad buy, do me a favor and hit subscribe. I've got more videos coming on the exact trucks dealers push hardest versus the ones that actually go the distance. Now, the last one. Number 1. This is the truck I recommend more than any other, the one I own, and the one people argue with me about until they see what these things do. Number 1. The Toyota Tundra with the 5.7 V8. Let me start with a number that stops the argument before it begins. The average pickup truck in America has about a 13% chance of ever reaching 250,000 miles. Only 13 out of 100. The Toyota Tundra with the 5.7 hits that mark 30% of the time. That's not the best light-duty number in America. That's a heavy-duty number. That's diesel dually territory coming out of a gas half-ton. There is no other light-duty pickup that comes close, and it's because of one engine, the 5.7-liter 3 URFE V8, built from 2007 to 2021. Let me tell you why I'm obsessed with this thing. This engine was never designed to win a spec sheet. It's not the most powerful, it's not efficient, and it drinks fuel like it's mad at the gas station. What it does is refuse to die. It's naturally aspirated, so there's no turbo to fail. It runs a timing chain, not a belt, so there's no expensive interval hanging over your head. And Toyota for years simply refused to chase the small turbocharged engines everyone else gambled on. They stuck with displacement and simplicity. The result is an engine that shrugs off towing, hauling, and hard miles, while the owner does almost nothing but change the oil. I have personally worked on these north of 300,000 miles on the original engine and transmission. Not I heard about one, personally, on the lift in my shop. Here's the customer story that made a believer out of me, except this time the customer was me. Years ago, I needed a truck for the shop. Everyone assumed I'd build something exotic. I bought a used Tundra with the 5.7. I've since put it through everything a work truck sees, and the total repair spend outside of routine maintenance has been almost embarrassing to admit. A starter, a water pump, brakes and tires, which don't count because that's just consumables. That truck has cost me less to keep running than some people spend on 1 year of payments on the new truck they financed to look successful. Now the numbers that make people angry once they hear them. A clean 2014 Tundra with the 5.7 carries a private party value in the low 20s, roughly $20,000 to $24,000, and you can find higher mileage ones cheaper than that. A 2017 with under 100,000 miles sits around $26,000 to $27,000. Compare that to a new, full-size truck at $66,000. You are getting the most durable half-ton drivetrain on the road for less than half the price of a new truck that statistically won't last as long. And here's the kicker that Tundra owners already know. These things barely depreciate. A Tundra loses only about 26 to 28% of its value over 5 years, while that new truck across the lot sheds 55%. You are buying a truck that both outlasts the competition and holds your money better than the bank does. But I'm going to give you the same honest inspection I'd give my own brother, because even the best truck has things to check. First, focus on the 2014 to 2021 model years. Those got a refresh, a better interior, and the lowest complaint rates of the whole run, often under 200 complaints for an entire model year, which is almost unheard of. Second, and this is the big one, the secondary air injection system on the 2007 to 2015 Tundras can fail and throw a check engine light. At a dealer, that repair runs $1,500 to $2,500. It's the one genuinely expensive gremlin on these trucks, so scan it for codes before you buy and use any pending issue to negotiate hard. Third, get underneath and check the exhaust manifolds for leaks and inspect the ball joints, because those are the two wear items these trucks are known for, and they're cheap to fix if you catch them. Fourth, my pro tip, the same one that never fails. Find one owned by someone who used it lightly and maintained it religiously. A Tundra that towed a boat twice a summer and got every oil change on time is a truck that'll run until you're tired of owning it. Who should buy this truck? Anyone who plans to keep a vehicle a long time and wants to stop thinking about it. Anyone who tows regularly and is tired of babying a turbocharged engine through every heat cycle. Anyone who's done doing the depreciation math in their head every time they pass a dealership. Who should skip it? If fuel economy is your top priority, this is not your truck. The 5.7 is thirsty, and it will not apologize. If you want the newest technology and screens, the older Tundra interiors feel dated, and that is a fair trade to know about going in. And if you need to squeeze into tight city parking, it is a big truck that drives like one. But if you want the single most bulletproof half-ton drivetrain sold in the last 2 decades at a price that laughs at the new truck lot, this is it. If I had to buy one truck today to drive for the next 10 years with the lowest chance of a big repair bill, I would buy another 5.7 Tundra, and I would not lose a second of sleep. So, there it is. 3 trucks that millions of Americans are buying instead of the $66,000 showroom queens, and for good reason. The Chevy Silverado 5.3, the cheapest way into a V8 that'll run 250,000 miles as long as you respect the AFM. The Ford F-150 5.0 Coyote, the engine Ford's own techs recommend over the one Ford advertises. And the Toyota Tundra 5.7, the only half-ton on Earth that goes the distance like a heavy-duty diesel, holds its value like a Porsche and asks for almost nothing in return. New truck prices are climbing faster than blue-collar wages, and the people who understand engines stopped playing that game a while ago. Next time a salesman tries to walk you toward a $700 a month lease return, you'll know there's a smarter truck sitting 3 spots over. If you want to know which specific engines mechanics genuinely trust past 300,000 miles, the ones that just refuse to quit, I made a whole video breaking those down with the numbers to back it up. It's right here. That's 2 decades of watching trucks come and go. Like this, if it helped, subscribe for more of the truth the dealerships won't hand you, and remember, take care of the right truck, and it'll take care of you for a very long time. I'll see you in the next one.